Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our family and friends updates. As the holiday season surrounds us, it is the perfect time to reflect on the true magic of this season, the joy of giving and making a difference, whether it is through a kind word, a heartfelt lift me up note, thoughtful gesture, shoveling snow, or helping to clear a senior's driveway or sidewalk, or to give to charity or donate warm clothes. Each moment counts. We are reminded that even the smallest act of kindness can light up someone's world. So let us have that spirit of generosity and see how we can create a brighter, better world for those around us. My name is Petronila Ndebele, and I'm the Director of Strategic Communications and Stakeholder Relations, and I'll be guiding today's program. Thank you so much for watching our webinar today. And before we begin, we'll start by giving the land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit and the Williams Treaties signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. We also acknowledge that we are all treaty peoples, including those who came here as settlers, as migrants either in this generation or in generations past, and those of us who came here involuntarily, particularly as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. Today, we pay tribute to the ancestors of those of African and indigenous origin and descent. Today, we are going to have updates from our community participation supports and respect team. We also have some interesting updates on our year-end activities and programs and a sneak peek into our upcoming winter campaign. We also have our Community Unplugged session with a special guest, Kelly Swetkov, who is supported by Community Living Toronto. We will then highlight Community Living Ontario's ongoing campaign entitled Waiting to Belong and how you can participate. So we do have a loaded agenda today. Thank you for joining us. As we are at the end of the year, we are immensely grateful for everything we have learned and been able to achieve this year. We also concluded our 75th anniversary celebrations. We deeply appreciate your support, which has made this achievement possible. Thank you for sharing your stories and your experiences throughout this journey. Through sharing, we grow and learn from one another and strengthen our community together. We look forward to many more years of learning, storytelling, and helping to build communities where everyone belongs and where everyone is valued. And now for our first presentation, I would like to call upon Heather Dunn, Senior Program Manager, Community Participation Supports and Respect, to give us an update. Heather, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty, for the warm welcome. And thank you for having me back again to talk about community participation supports and respite. We have lots to celebrate as the month of December holds lots of holidays around the world. And with us at Community Living Toronto, I'd like to share just a few celebrations that we've been experiencing and that we will be over the next month. I'll start off with an opportunity that we've had over the past few months. So back in September, earlier, just a couple of months back, we did have the opportunity to welcome CODA to our 50 Fairfax location. So CODA is an organization that we've welcomed into both office space as well as adult day program space at 50 Fairfax. we also host the same activities from Community Living Toronto at that location. So you'll see here, this was an opportunity that we took in just last week or so to welcome our friends at CODA to come on over to Fairfax side, over to our program side, to be able to check out, meet and greet, have a really fun and enjoyable experience together, and just to create an opportunity for people to be welcomed into the space and enjoy some good times, some laughs, and a little bit of an opportunity to have some food and get to know one another. So as you can see, we had an incredible turnout. We had approximately 100 people who joined us that day, including many of the people supported at our Fairfax CPS program and the staff team there, as well as from CODA. The Adult Day Support Program joined us, as well as many of their staff team from both the adult program as well as their office joined us for a really fantastic day of enjoying some magic and sharing some experiences together. It was really magical. And after the magic show, we were able to join each other in a cafeteria area where we would have the opportunity to just share a few laughs. We had one wonderful experience where we had a member who attends the adult program from CODA and one of our members from CLTO who reconnected after over 10 years of not seeing one another. We had no idea that they knew each other, and it was just such a great experience and a great way for us to look at how do we continue to collaborate together. This is a video of just the event that had happened. We had a magician come on out, and he was so engaging with the crowd. And this is an experience that one of the people from Fairfax CPS got to participate in, and you'll just hear the enjoyment of all of the people who were in the audience that you saw earlier, just enjoying and having a great time with this.
I will set this up for you. Would you take your right hand, that's the one with the thumb on the left side, hold there gently. Wonderful. And would you just blow gently in the center? That was not gently.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, we got this. Lovely. While you're up here, Nicole, I would ask you to remain relatively still. These scissors are ridiculously sharp, and Kim did not swing for the insurance. 2 pieces of rope, more or less the same size. Nothing. I'm sorry, I have to ask you a personal question.
Sure.
Are you right hand or left hand?
Left.
Left hand. Ooh. In a moment, I will ask you to take your left hand and wave it over top of the rope mysteriously. Oh, that's right. She said she's never done this before. It's really not that difficult. Mysteriously is elbow up, relax the wrist, counterclockwise. You want something in between mysterious and spooky. Go for it. Give it a wave. Okay, we asked for mysterious and spooky. That was mysterious and sexy, but no one ever gets it on the first try. Now, how do I, Nicole?
Yes.
I will not offend you if I say that to me, you look old enough to know this doesn't do anything.
Well, I
Okay, she's not sure. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. Except one end got shorter. Or the other end got longer. I'm not sure which. Here, you hold your end. But nice firm grip. And wave one more time. Okay, nice one. And pull gently. I'm trying not to fall off the edge of the stage. Yeah. Don't fall down the stairs. Excellent. Nicole, stop for just a moment. For those of you keeping track, this is the weirdest way of putting 2 pieces of cloth back together. Nicole has a long piece over here. I have a small piece over here. You can tell they're not happy. This awkward giggling, they're nervous. They're worried they might be this crazy. You have to prove to them nothing out of the ordinary is actually going on.
Really not.
This is just a piece of rope. We're all just having a little daydream before lunch. Please don't let that. We'll hang the little piece on the big one, and you wave one more time. Watch. Ah, here we go. The little piece melts. into the big one. Until it ties itself into a knot. One more wave, or here just blow. Great, and all that's left is the hook. All that is left is the rope. And the irritating fact that Nicole is never going to tell you how she did that. Can we have a round of applause for Nicole? And then we can tell the rest.
Thank you for sharing that video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did while we were there experiencing it live. We had tons of laughs and everybody was really enjoying the show. So further celebrations that we had within CPS leading up to the holidays, we wanted to share this very cute and fun way to celebrate the holidays. These two members are at our Finch location, and they created a very healthy snack to share with their friends at the program, and it was based off of their favorite holiday movie. So just one of the fun and creative ways that we're able to celebrate the holidays. Another fun and creative way that we've celebrated the holidays from our community participation supports locations is we started a very interesting mini series last week at our Community Junction location. They took the opportunity to create a fun and educational session for people supported to gain knowledge of multicultural celebrations that are happening. And they did this by utilizing some of their kitchen skills, preparing traditional meals to celebrate and learn a little bit more about different celebrations that are happening. So last week they did Hanukkah, and this coming week they're doing Christmas, and then next week will be followed by Kwanzaa. So just a really great and creative way for learning a little bit more and actually having the hands-on experience of how to create some of those meals and dishes that go along with the holidays. In addition to that, all of our community participation support locations are celebrating the holidays. Some of us are utilizing those awesome kits that we got from Little Caesars. We're doing karaoke and sing-alongs, lots of fun and interesting ways to celebrate the holidays. So if you are connected or would like to be connected, please do reach out to our CPS team to see if you can get in on some of the fun. There's fun for everybody. Also wanted to just let you know that the community participation support locations will be closed from the 25th through to January 1st inclusively, and we will reopen our program on January 2nd. Celebrations continue. So along over to children's respite programs. So again, tons of fun and creative ways for people to celebrate the holidays at both Annerdale as well as our Lawson location. We will be celebrating in a variety of different ways throughout the month, including sing-alongs, creating ornaments, creating gift cards, and things to that nature in order to really celebrate the holidays and provide an opportunity for the kids to be able to bring home something special for their loved ones. So really excited about all of the special opportunities that we have at our programs. We do have at the children's programs, we have the stat days that are closed, but other than that, we do offer the day as well as overnight stays at our locations. So just make sure if you have any questions, please do reach out to our CPS and respite team. We also wanted to provide you with an update on our relocation of Lawson Children's Respite Program. As I mentioned, it is still open, and we are going to continue to provide those services ongoing for you, our friends and families. Really want to make sure that our families are aware that we are still in the process of undergoing the relocation to our new location at 28 McMillan Avenue in Scarborough. We are in the process of also hearing from you. Many of our families have reached out, but if you haven't, please do reach out to us to let us know that you are interested in continuing with your services with us at the new location at 28 McMillan Avenue. And our Respite Choice team will be here every step of the way to help guide you through the process. We want to make this as smooth and seamless for everybody as we possibly can, and we are here for you throughout this process. We do anticipate that the license will be happening at the new location in the new year. So please stay tuned as we continue to provide you updates as more information becomes available. And as always, best way for you to find the most up-to-date information. If you can't reach out to us via phone, you can always check out our website. All of our most up-to-date information is on the website for registering for new programs, checking out to see what's new and exciting at all of the locations, or even if you just want to see that most recent memo that just came out. We look forward to enjoying and welcoming many of you to enjoy with us at our CPS and respite locations throughout the holiday season, and we're wishing you all the best for you and yours during this time. Thank you very much.
What a way to celebrate the holidays through creative and fun activities that help people to connect. Thank you, Heather, and thank you to you and your team for such a warm welcome to COTA. We encourage everyone to reach out to the team for more information on new and exciting activities and on the programs available this winter. Thank you so much, Heather. Up next, it is my pleasure to welcome Kelly Swetkopf and Brad Sanders, our CEO for the Community Unplugged chat. Kelly has been associated with Community Living Toronto for several years. In this conversation, she shares her childhood experiences and living in different homes. Kelly has had an inspiring journey while advocating for inclusion, and we look forward to this conversation. Thank you for joining us today, Kelly. And Brad and Kelly, over to you.
Kelly, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Maybe to get things started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Kelly. Of course, everybody knows that. I was adopted almost a year after I was born. Not really a year, actually. It was till January of 1994. And adopted in an okay family, moving on around 10 or 11 years old. I had to move into my first group home, and they helped me out a great deal. And then I was on ODSP ever since then. And then moving along, I moved out on the age 21 into a second group home, and then that was the basement apartment of that group home. And now going from there, I went to live somewhere else, and that was at 833 Kennedy, and that wasn't a very good place.
Right, you've talked about that. So you've had a bit of a number of different experiences and different ways of receiving support, and lived in a few different environments. What was your experience of living in different homes and different locations? What was that like for you?
It was good. It was a little bit hard, but it was good. The staff were amazing, and they weren't mean. They were very accepting, 100% accepting, extremely loving. Felt like I was their kid.
That's good to hear.
They were warm and very funny, and they just had a great heart. And they kept me well, and they helped me out, and they brought me up a little bit more, like since the age of 10. And then I've always kept in touch with my aunt and uncle who live in Ottawa. There's two group homes that I was in. They helped me with no matter what I needed. They helped me through everything. Went on trips. Went to Dominican Republic and Jamaica, just for the fun of it. And,
nice.
Got sick twice.
Sick twice while you were there?
Yeah, we got sick in Dominican, and then went to Jamaica, and I got sick there.
Was it the sun? Was it the food? Was it too much,
It was the water.
too, the water? Okay.
Yeah, somehow the water was tainted and everything. It's horrible. I really didn't
Okay.
need water, but they said, oh, drink pop, and I'm like, pop's not gonna help.
Uh, so lesson learned, but I'm glad you got to go to those places. Other than that, than getting sick, were the trips worthwhile?
Well, the problem with flying is that I'm not a good flyer. I do not like airplanes because they scare me.
Yeah,
I'd rather be on ground.
that's fair enough. I always think it's not so much flying that I'm afraid of. It's the crashing. I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Same.
Anyway,
here.
but
I
it's a
would never-
very safe way to travel. Glad you made it back.
So
You
they say.
talk, yeah. You talked about moving to a number of different places, including a basement apartment and living
Yeah.
on an apartment on Kennedy Road. And you and I have talked about that. Wasn't your favorite place to live for a number of reasons. And then in the last couple of years now, you've been looking forward to, and then recently moved into a new home. And do you want to talk about that and what led to this change for you?
Yeah, just October of last year. I think it was the 26th. Can't remember well. I moved here, but when I moved here, it was still being made up, still being built.
Yeah.
And so it was freezing at night, and I was like kind of annoyed because I wanted to be warm since it was really cold out. So it was good, but a little challenging, but I got over it. It's like when I was told from when I was living in my first group home, they said, well, you're sick now, but if you're getting over it like a trooper, and I'm like, that's just gonna stick in my head.
Good.
Get through anything.
Good. Now you've been generous in showing your apartment to people
I love doing that.
through tours, right? In the last little bit, you've had a number of people come in and through, and you live in a beautiful home that you've got nicely decorated. Do you live with a roommate, or are you living solo?
I live by myself because I find it easier, like living with two roommates. This is very, very hard. And I said to myself, I can't do this. I'd had trouble with them. They caused me trouble. And I will say this. There was one roommate I had, the first roommate I had, they were supposed to clean the apartment. When you have a roommate, you have to clean up this together. You can't just let one do it because it's not right.
Yeah,
like it's considered rude,
Yeah, it can be pretty challenging when you're living with somebody and you've got different standards around what clean is or who does what. So this is that living in an apartment on your own suits you much better.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I got staff now to help me clean, which is a lot more different.
Yeah. So tell me about that. You've got staff that are coming in to your home to support you, or what role do they do there for you? One
staff, she comes once a week, but she is not a part of Birchmount Green. She's like some other place, and then through community living, but she comes helps me for a few hours.
Right.
And we just when we're finished working on the apartment, we'll just chat or something. And then there's others around here. There is a few hubs in this building that has overnight staff, which is very nice. And then I have staff from the office that's down on the first floor.
Okay.
And then I have Robert, of course, yeah.
Good. So you feel well supported in your new home.
100%. Yeah, even my aunt and uncle are happy about that too.
Oh, good. Your aunt and uncle from Ottawa.
Yeah.
Great, great. Have they been
Yeah.
down to visit yet, or?
No. Well, they're in their 70s and they're like
Okay.
they have bad health problems and they can barely walk, so it's kind
So
of
you stay-
sad. You know,
Yeah,
I haven't
that's-
seen them for a long time.
Well, the nice thing these days is with technology and FaceTime and all that, you can connect with people and
Yeah.
without and still see the environment, feel like you're getting together. That's excellent. Now you're also a big Doctor Who fan. How did that come to pass? Can you talk about your passion there?
Well, it started in 1996 when I moved into the first place when I server mate.
Yeah.
She's out somewhere and I'm just sitting home and I'm doing nothing and I just flipped through the channels. I came across this movie and I started watching it. I'm like, science fiction, I could do with that. I love it. I'm like realizing it said it was a Doctor Who movie. It's only one Doctor Who movie. And I fell in love with it. I'm like, what's this show called? And I'm like realizing it was called Doctor Who. And I'm like,
Okay.
never heard of this before. And then I started watching it ever since. So I still watch.
Excellent. Do you have a favorite Doctor?
Well, it goes by number, and they are Time Lords. So I'm gonna skip a few. They said you're not supposed to if you're a true Whovian.
Oh,
If you're a
because it's
real
always the
Whovian, you're
same
not supposed to
person.
skip any one of them. But I skipped some. Like
Okay.
I love I love the 8th Doctor, 9th Doctor, 11th Doctor, the 13th Doctor, and 14th Doctor.
Clearly,
No,
you're
15th Doctor. Sorry.
clearly you're a dedicated Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
That's good. You've got a very cool poster that has all of the doctors sort of listed.
Yeah,
I thought that, or
except
pictures
for-
of them all.
Except for 3 more.
Well, the new
So
ones,
there
right?
was
So
the
the post.
12th Doctor, the 13th Doctor, the 14th Doctor, and the 15th Doctor. So that's a
That's
very
great.
old picture.
It's still very cool.
Yeah.
Now you in the last little bit you've talked about you've learned a number, you've come out with a number of things about yourself that have been very interesting to people that know you, and I've talked about this or you've talked about this earlier this year. You at the beginning of May you were invited to an event at Toronto City Hall with Mayor Olivia Chow. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it was moving, and I've never been to that before, and I basically almost cried while I was giving the speech.
What was the event?
Because it was so gripping and moving. It's like I don't know how to explain it. I was in love with it at first, like when I was there, and I thought, well, I'm never going back.
Yeah. So you've gone through some learning about yourself, or some comforting. You knew who you are, but you've become much more comfortable sharing that with other people. Do you want to talk
Yeah.
about what you've shared with people in the last couple of years?
Well, to try like last year, but I thought, well, I've got to keep it to myself. From what I know now, I got to keep it to myself because who knows
Right.
whether or not people are not going to be accepting or not. So that was the staff before. And yes, there was one staff, I'm not naming names.
Yeah.
And then, so the only thing was is that through a supervisor, she should have not, I'm not naming names, but she should have not almost outed me. It's called outed.
Right.
She was close to outed me, and I wasn't too pleased about that because when people are in the LGBTQ community and they want to come out, but they fear that they can't because they're scared.
Right.
It's a personal thing.
Right.
And that one staff, one supervisor, said, asked me if she could put that in my book. And I was thinking, you can't do that unless
Right.
unless I tell you it's okay. But to be honest with you, it's not okay, because this is how I would suggest not, because I'm gonna do this myself. You cannot do this. I do it.
Right.
And she kept asking me constantly, and then she tried conning me into it, and she conned me into it. Now she wrote it in my book, and
Right.
it's all in my book, and now it's there. And that one staff asked me, "Oh, so you're in the LGBTQ community?" And I was thinking, yeah, so what's your point?
Right.
And that's that one person that is not really fond of it. It's just
Right.
not very good at that time. But then when I came here, I was thinking, I'm waiting to come out. Should I or shouldn't I? And I'm seeing that the staff is good with with other people, like Kevin, and she's part of it too. He's very outgoing, and he's they talk to him like a normal person. And I was like, I can do this. I can tell them what's going on, and they'd be accepting, and I know it because I feel it. So I told them, and they're like, it doesn't matter because we're accepting you. And I showed them my flag, like I showed everybody my flag, and they're like, well, you should put that on your wall. And it is on my wall. It's hanging on like a one thing on my wall.
Yeah.
But
So
I want to
through-
spread it out so it's like draped on my wall this
yeah,
way.
it looks great. So you've gone through a journey then of being very private about your sexuality and being a member of the LGBTQ community to telling certain people, to being much more comfortable talking about it and being out. And that culminated in you taking a very public stand in May, where you were invited by the mayor to raise the progress flag at City Hall.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
The thing is with that is that I've learned that you don't have to come out unless you want to.
Right.
It shouldn't be forced to come out. She's gonna come out and do it, but if you don't feel comfortable and you feel scared, don't do it. It's not that you're in the closet. You're gonna be safe, just as long as people are around you are gonna be a safe space for you.
Right. That's good. And so that day, being there, raising the flag, I believe you got a certificate. You spoke with the mayor. You raised the inclusion flag. What was that like for you? What did it mean to you?
My doing the whole thing, I basically almost cried. I had to stop myself because it was so I can't say overwhelming. It was just it was crazy, and it was gripping. I'm like, I'm glad I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do something like this. And then doing my speech, I was close to crying in my speech. And everybody's like, it's okay, because we were almost crying too. It's like, I kind of stopped myself.
Yeah. That's great. You've been an inspiration to a lot. I think I've said to you in the past that, you and I are friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
And for you had the habit or the practice of walking up to the new building up at Birchmount Green as it was being built, and taking pictures and making captions and saying, the construction's coming. I can't believe I'm going to live here. Can't wait for it to get done. And as delays happened, as they inevitably do when you build something, you put out your disappointment that you wanted to get done and that. So I would see that from time to time, and I really was inspired by your passion to get into a new home, and that your excitement about it. It was great to see. So you've certainly been through a lot of changes in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was great. Like, well, this is gonna sound nuts, but I did it. I don't know how this happened. Like, I don't know how. See, people are gonna say it's fake, but it's not because it's real. Extrasensory perception, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Predictions. Sometimes predictions work, and sometimes they don't. Like, it's like a hit or a miss. And a couple years back, I said to myself, I can't do this anymore. I don't know why I'm living here. This is wrong. I'm living in
Yeah.
a building where I should not be living in a very bad rundown building because of my asthma. And I said to myself, I'm moving, and I know I'm moving. It just takes time. And then I
Right.
looked up something and I came across this thing and it said Birchmont Green. I'm like, wait a minute, I know something is going to happen, and I know it's going to happen eventually. I don't know when, but it's going to happen, and it might take a few years. And then all of a sudden last year, people are like, hey, would you like to move? And I was like, I would love to. They said
It's a,
a 1-bedroom apartment. I was like, wait, you're kidding me, right? They said no.
Right.
And I was said in the same building. They said no, in a brand new building. And I was like, okay, I was about to like faint because it
Right.
was the best feeling ever. I couldn't believe it.
So whether it was ESP or a premonition or just really good timing and
I-
good fortune, I'm glad
The
it's
weirdest-
come to happen for you.
Yeah, well, the weirdest thing about that is that it is dreams. I had dreams. I had like it's daydreams, I guess.
Yeah.
And then there was like small little clips here and there. You know how there's like pictures,
Right.
in your mind, and then there's like um and then there's the feeling, and then there's the like it's like a weight, and it's not enclosed. It's like a big weight, but it's not a bad weight. It's a good weight.
Right.
You know you're gonna something exciting is gonna happen. I was
That's
like,
great. That's
when I
great.
found out I was gonna move, I was blown away. I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, but
I think you're explaining it. I think you're explaining it really well. I would also say that one of the things that you've shared with us is that you had done a lunch and learn with some of our staff a number of months ago, and Community Living Toronto has been trying to do a better job at diversity and equity and inclusion. And we have a group called the Pride Collective that supports staff who want to be more full and more themselves at work. And you were generous enough to share your story to help staff understand around you don't know, sometimes staff are trying to be supportive and recognize, in your case, recognizing that you were a member of the LGBTQ community, you weren't comfortable at that point being there, but you got there over time. And I think that was really helpful for people to know and understand the impact of some of the things that people do. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but you were very clear on what your journey was.
well, I was comfortable. I just was like thinking, thinking in my brain where it's like a little, I don't know. You think about it when you watch
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
computer load.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
stupid thing keeps going around. You're like waiting forever.
The
That's the
spinning
way my
circle of,
brain kept
yeah.
going and going. I'm like, well, okay, maybe I can. It's okay because it's a safe space.
Yeah.
And then I might, you know what, it's okay because it works out for me. So it's
Well,
not like I wasn't uncomfortable about it. It was
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
like
No, that's really
needed
good. And I
to
think that
figure things
think-
out beforehand.
that really resonates. That really makes sense around, you had a lot of thinking and processing that you had to do for yourself before you got to this place. So just got a minute or two left. How are you how are you settling now? You've got a new home, and you've you've had some big experiences in the last little bit. How are things for you now?
I feel like I'm gonna faint. Well, I feel like I'm gonna cry off and on because this is like I keep thinking it's not real, it's real.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I got friends, some friends in this building.
Yeah.
And there's a friend that I know since high school who lives in this building.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
And there's a friend that somebody I know that used to work in the same place that I used to work at in this building.
Right.
So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, you're a little community within a community that's built, that's developed for you. That's good. Kelly, you're an inspiration for us.
Thanks. And what we're doing is that we have little recreational stuff in the party room. So Mondays we have art, and sometimes Thursday we have bingo.
Yeah. And you participated in a lot of those.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my artwork. I think I can do it.
Okay.
Easy.
I think one of the issues that can come up. Oh, that's beautiful. You made that. You made that as part of the activities that you do in the building.
That's artwork. Yeah.
That's
but
great.
I have to sort of do more of it because it doesn't look right. There's like black on the beige, which should not be.
Yeah. No, it looks really good. The final question, and I just wanted to make a point. You talked about doing things within the building and having lots of friends, and I know you get out a lot, because one of the downsides of living on your own is that there's a risk of being lonely or a risk of being isolated. And it sounds like that's not you. You've got lots of connections. You're connected with your community. You've got some people that are around to support you, and you're thriving.
Yeah,
it would seem to me. Great.
I'm not lonely.
Great. You're not excellent. Got one final question before we sign off. And the question is around belonging. I'd love to hear what belonging means to you.
God. I don't know. That's a hard one. Why is it so hard? I don't know. Just the acceptance and love and happiness and wonder and hoping that hoping the best, like something better, even more better than
That's great. Kelly, thanks for taking the time today to chat. Really appreciate everything that you've shared with us. You continue to inspire us, and thanks for sharing, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brad, and thank you so much, Kelly, for sharing your story and experiences and how supports from Community Living Toronto have changed your life. We wish you the best for this new phase and hope you continue to find more ways to be active within the community. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Up next, I would like to invite Atam Perederi, our social media specialist, who will walk us down the memory lane as we revisit the incredible journey within Community Living Toronto and beyond this past year. Our Year in Review campaign captures the remarkable milestones, advocacy efforts, memorable moments we were all a part of, and that have helped make a difference within our community. We thank you for your support throughout the year and over the years. Atam, it is your time now.
Thank you, Petronella. It's a pleasure for me to present our Year in Review campaign. For those who are not familiar, our Year in Review is a social media campaign where we highlight key milestones and achievements. And let me tell you, 2024 has been packed with incredible events and announcements. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the incredible support of our community members, families, volunteers, and sector partners. Your dedication, passion, and commitment to our mission have been the driving force behind every success and milestone we've reached this year. And before I begin, a quick note that our campaign is still running, so instead of sharing all the details today, we'll give you a sneak peek and ask you to follow the rest on our social media pages. I want to start by highlighting the community events we hosted throughout the year that brought our community together and helped create lasting memories. On your screen now, you can see the picture of everyone who had a great day at Duncan's farm. We had many more wonderful events throughout the year, like the Family Fun Fair, activities dedicated to Community Living Month, and so much more. Just looking at these faces on the photos, the smiles, the excitement, we know these moments meant a lot to everyone involved. These events were more than just fun gatherings. They were opportunities for people to connect, share experiences, and create new relationships. 2024 was also a year of growth, learning, and sharing knowledge. We attended several notable conferences where we not only learned about the latest trends in our sector, but also had the chance to share our own insights with partner agencies. From Community Living Ontario's Inspiring Possibilities Conference to the OADD Conference and the Provincial Network on Developmental Services HR Forum, these events provided valuable opportunities for us to reconnect, learn, and raise awareness about the important work that we do. This year, we also had some impactful media appearances, and we are incredibly proud to share one with our CLT influencer, Sam, created in collaboration with CIBC Foundation. Thanks to our amazing partners at United Way Greater Toronto and the CIBC Foundation, Sam had the opportunity to share his personal story and demonstrate how donated dollars make a difference in the lives of the people we support and their families. Let's take a moment to watch the video and hear Sam's story.
I think that the world needs a broader understanding of what autism is. There's a lot of pesky stereotypes that we can't contribute to society. We're just like everyone else. I consider my condition to be more of a superpower than an annoyance.
Sam got connected to Community Living Toronto, and that helped him get his first job. Sam describes it more like, that's when my life changed.
It really gave me more confidence in the aspect of job skills. As an ambassador, it gave me an even bigger platform for me to be an advocate for marginalized communities and helping me see my true potential.
Community Living has not just given Sam a job, they have given Sam more life.
My goal is to find a place of my own and take another step in my independence.
I am very, very grateful and thankful to Community Living Toronto and CIBC Foundation for the work that you do. Thank you.
In 2024, we were honored to receive several prestigious awards for our 75th anniversary campaign and celebrated the powerful impact of our storytelling. Among the recognitions were the 2024 Ovation Award of Excellence and the 2024 IABC Gold Quill Award of Merit in the Marketing, Advertising, and Brand Communication category. We also got the 2024 IABC Gold Quill Award of Excellence in the Nonprofit Sector Communication category. We couldn't have achieved this without the people we support and their families, volunteers, storytellers, our staff, and valued partners at Principles. So here goes a special thank you to all those who contributed their time, passion, and expertise to help bring our mission of belonging and inclusion to life. Going back to May 2024, we celebrated our annual Community Living Month in full force. We kicked things off with our Leaders in Philanthropy event, which brought together some of the most dedicated supporters of our cause. And we couldn't have celebrated without our signature Shine a Light event, where major landmarks across Ontario were lit in blue and green to raise awareness for the movement. We continued this momentum with a day at the legislature, where we engaged with government officials about the future of our sector and the current challenges we face. These conversations were critical in ensuring that the voices of those we support continue to be heard. And of course, the celebrations went on with several local events at our locations, ensuring that everyone in our community had the opportunity to join the movement and reflect on the incredible journey we've been through. This year, one of the most powerful moments we had to emphasize our commitment to promoting equity, diversity, and inclusion within our communities was when we gathered with Mayor Olivia Chow at Toronto City Hall to raise the Progress Pride flag in recognition of International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. And you can see the photos on your screen now, but we also do have a video from that event, so let's go to the next slide and take a look at that.
Bravo!
And lastly, in 2024, we launched our Community Chats podcast with the goal of celebrating successes, sharing personal experiences, and addressing the pressing challenges we face in the sector together with our frontline champions, advocates, people we support, their families, and friends. Our episodes are released on the 15th and 30th of each month, and you can listen to them on a variety of platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, Audible, and our main Buzzsprout homepage. As of today, we have released 13 episodes, so there is plenty of content for you to catch up on. We've also just launched our second season yesterday, so stay tuned for more special guests, insightful conversations, and memorable moments. If you want to be part of our podcast or share your story, kindly reach out to Minal Nanda at minal.nanda@cltoronto.ca, and you can also see the email address at the bottom left corner of the screen. In conclusion, 2024 has been a year of growth, celebration, and meaningful connections. We are incredibly proud of all that we've achieved together, and we look forward to continuing this journey with all of you. We encourage you to stay connected with us and keep up with our latest updates, stories, and events by following us on social media at CL Toronto on X, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thank you so much for being part of our community. And as we wrap up the year, we are also thrilled to announce our upcoming winter campaign, which we will be launching quite soon. This campaign will highlight the joys of the winter season, with a focus on winter celebrations, acts of kindness, health and wellness, as well as ideas to make the most of this magical time of the year. Whether it's spreading the warmth through the community initiatives or staying active in the colder months, we'll be sharing inspiring stories and helpful tips along the way. Thank you so much, and I'll pass it back to Petronella.
Thank you so much, Atam, and we indeed look forward to that winter campaign, which we are launching this month. This has indeed been a special year, and this social media campaign continues to help us share our voice and vision with so many people out there. Our stories and experiences now have another channel with our Community Chats podcast, and we urge you to stay connected and hear from amazing guests and people with lived experiences. And as Atam mentioned, our podcasts are released on the 15th and 30th of each month, so please stay tuned. We once again thank you for your support and look forward to sharing more stories from our community next year. And now we'd like to end by highlighting the Waiting to Belong campaign. Community Living Ontario has launched a media campaign called Waiting to Belong to raise awareness on waitlists for supportive services. Over 50,000 people are currently waiting for support services in Ontario, and the list is growing every year. Waiting to Belong is a new education and advocacy campaign to encourage the Ontario government to eliminate the developmental services waitlist by effectively funding the sector. If you or your loved ones are currently waiting for support services in Ontario, you are encouraged to share your story. Community Living Ontario is calling on people with intellectual disabilities and their families to share their stories about how Waiting to Belong impacts their lives and communities. You can submit your story using the Call for Stories form, and the details on how to submit your story are on the screen. Thank you all for watching our webinar today. We look forward to seeing you at our next live session in January, and do watch out for the registration details closer to the date. Thank you, and until then, wishing you happy holidays. Let us keep making a difference. Let us continue to show kindness and compassion to one another, creating a world where understanding and empathy lead the way. As they say, the holiday season is perfect time to reflect on our opportunities and seek out ways to make life better for those around us. Have a great holiday season, everyone.